Hello students, today we are going to do issue of shares other than cash, which I have explained you in my one of the video if you remember. So what do you mean by, I'm just going to brief you in case you have forgotten this. What is other than cash? Like company is giving shares, issuing shares, but in return they are not going to get cash for it. Why? Because they are getting asset, or they might be getting a business. So it's, you can say, a barter system. It's a kind of barter system. Whenever company is issuing shares other than cash, means it's a barter system. Barter system, it was the very old system of doing a business. Like we used to give one product and in exchange we used to get another product. Likewise, here also nowadays what we are doing, what company is doing, giving shares, and in return they are not getting cash for it, for giving the shares, for issuing the shares. In return company is not getting cash. So what company is getting then? Company is getting an asset. Means company is purchasing a asset, and for the payment of that asset, company is giving a shares, issuing a share. So it's a kind of a barter system which is being applied here. Or if I've given you 4 instances that we have in our scope of syllabus, under those 4 instances or cases we have to pass journal entries for the issue of shares other than cash. Now in this video today I am going to take issue of shares other than cash for type 1, that is when the company is purchasing a business. Now whenever we purchase some other company or some other company's business, we have to pay a price for purchasing that business. Now the price which we have decided to pay, or the price for which we are purchasing a business, that price is called purchase consideration. So what do you mean by purchase consideration, students? Purchase consideration means a price for business. In a simple words, it's a price for business. So purchase consideration, in short we call it as PC. Purchase consideration ka short form is PC. So what is PC, student? What is purchase consideration, students? Purchase consideration means you have to pay a price for purchasing a business. So let's take one example for more clarity. Suppose one of the company is purchasing another company. So we are purchasing a business of, say for example, Tata Steel. We are purchasing Tata Steel ka business now. So we are company, we are purchasing a business of Tata Steel. So we have to keep a meeting with him to decide the price for the business. So let's assume that the meeting was taken and in that meeting it was decided the price for business will be 1000 crores. So 1000 crore is PC amount. It's a purchase consideration. Now when we are in the meeting, when the price was decided 1000 crore, Tata Steel owner will ask us, how you are going to pay me this price? So what we have a plan in our mind how to make payment of this 1000 crore of PC amount. We have decided that out of 1000 crore of PC amount, 900 crore we are going to give him by way of shares. So what about 100 crore left balancing PC amount? We are going to give in the form of cash. So yes students, this is also possible. It's not always that entire PC amount is given in shares. So in textbook you will find sums where in we are paying the entire PC amount in the form of shares, or maybe a combination that one part of the PC is given in shares and another balancing part we are giving in the form of cash. Even that is possible, yes students. So here I have taken example where we had a deal. We purchased a business for 1000 crore, out of which 900 crore we are going to give in the form of shares, and remaining amount of PC, that is 100 crore, we will pay him in a cash form. So this is what the deal was, and this is what the example is about issuing shares other than cash. So we gave shares of value 900 crore. Value, it's the amount. 900 crore is the amount, not the number of shares. 900 crore is the amount which we are going to settle by way of giving shares. So in this case what is happening, students? we are giving shares of 900 crore. We are also paying 100 crore of cash for purchasing that business. So for giving the shares, here we are not going to get a cash, we are not going to get money, but we are going to get a business. So I hope you have understood with the example of this. Now let's see how to record this in our books of account. So these are the master entries. Now let's try to understand. So this is type 1 for the purchase of business other than cash. Now you have to pass two entries. In company accounting, as I have explained in my previous video also, for each of the transaction there are two entries. So why two entries, students, here? Now the first entry, what you are going to show? In your first entry you will show that you are purchasing a business and the money is payable to the vendor. Who is vendor, student? In our example, vendor is Tata Steel. We are purchasing business of Tata Steel and Tata Steel owner is selling the business. So the person who sells is called vendor. So here vendor account will be used to show the money is payable. So actually this entry is for purchasing a business. So I can label this entry as purchase of business. So you are purchasing a business, this is purchase ka entry. So here I am labeling it as purchase entry. This is your purchase entry. Number one entry is purchase ka entry. What you are purchasing, students, here? You are purchasing a business. Now tell me what is there in the business, students? We have assets and liabilities. So when I am purchasing a business, what I am getting, students? I am getting assets and also I will be getting liabilities of that business. So assets, now the modern rule that we follow. Assets what we are receiving, we will give debit effect, or the traditional rule, debit what comes in. So anyway, whichever way you understand, assets will be debited, or the modern approach says whenever your assets increases, give debit effect. So here what is happening? We are purchasing a business of another company and we are getting asset. So it will get added to our assets, whatever assets we are getting. So finally your assets are increasing. So what you will do, if your assets are increasing, you will be giving a debit effect. Likewise, you are also getting liabilities of that business. Even your liabilities are increasing. And what modern approach says, if your liabilities are increasing, give credit effect. So your liabilities are credited. So assets are debited because assets are increasing, and assets, whenever it increases, we give debit effect. Liabilities, whenever increases, we give credit effect. So have you understood these two effects? Various assets debit to various liability. Students, remember, this is master entry. When you are solving a sum, you have to write the name of the asset you are receiving. For example, you are getting machine. So write machinery account debit. You are getting furniture account debit. So you have to list down the names of the assets you are receiving. Here I am not listed because this is a master entry. So in master entry I have written various assets, whatever you are getting. Likewise, various liabilities are credited, whatever you are getting. Now, after debiting and crediting assets and liabilities, you will have to show vendor account. Now, who is vendor again? Tell me, students. Here in our example, Tata Steel is a vendor. He is selling a business to us and the money is payable to him. So, vendor, Tata Steel, we have to pay to him. So, I can call him as my creditor. Why? Because I have to pay him money. I owe him. So if I owe him, he is a creditor, and creditor again is your liability. So it will be credited. So hope you have also understood why vendor is credited here. And you will be crediting vendor with PC amount. Now you know what is PC. PC means purchase consideration. Also, students, sit with your notebook and pen. I want you to copy this master entry, and whatever I have written in the bracket with the blue ink, also you take this down. You can write it with the pencil. All the blue ink, you can write it with the pencil. So with pencil you can write full form of PC, purchase consideration. And now you know what is purchase consideration. What is purchase consideration, students? It is a price of business which we are purchasing. So vendor account is always credited because he is our creditor. We have to pay him. It's a liability, and how much amount is payable to him? PC amount. So you will always credit with the PC amount. Am I clear with this? Now, so these three accounts, you know, asset debited, liability credited, and vendor credited. Now these three accounts which I explained you is compulsory in all the sum. Now I am putting a star here. Why? Because this is not compulsory. And also you won't get both the account. Now why these accounts are there, I will tell you. In case, now these two entries you passed, liabilities account credit and vendor credit. Now you have to see the totaling, like if the total of these two amount and assets amount, you have to total up debit column and credit column, and when you total up you will see that there is a difference. And if you are getting a difference in the debit column, when you will write difference in the debit column, when your debit total is less and credit total is more. So suppose here on the credit side the total is 1200 crore. This is 1200 crore and the total of assets is 1000 crore. So credit ka total is more and debit ka total is only 1000. So what is the difference here, students? 200 crore. This is my difference, and I am going to write difference in the debit column. That makes up equal. You know, students, journal entry ka, this is a basic thing. Always your debit amounts must be equal to your credit column. So now credit ka total is 1200, debit ka total is 1000. So debit side you are getting a difference. What to write if you are getting a balancing figure in debit column? You have to write it as goodwill. Now I will tell you why we are writing goodwill here. So here your PC amount is greater. That's the reason your credit total is more. So your PC amount is greater. What do you conclude from this? That you are paying more to that person. So in our example, we are paying more to Tata Steel. Now why we are paying more to Tata Steel more than the actual value of the business? Because Tata Steel enjoy goodwill. So that's the reason whatever extra we are paying will be considered as a goodwill. And definitely it's a loss for us. We are paying extra. If we are paying extra, it's a loss for us. And loss is always debited. That is our accounts ka rule. Loss is always debited. So we are paying 200 crore extra to Tata Steel. So it's a loss for us. So we are debiting. And why we are willing or we are happy to give him extra amount even after knowing the actual value is less. Still we are happy and we made a deal that we are going to purchase your business for this PC amount. Why we are happy? Because Tata Steel is enjoying goodwill in the market. So why we are paying extra? For his goodwill. Am I clear with this? Likewise, even vice versa deal is also possible, students. Vice versa deal when it happens, when the company is in loss. When the company is in loss and you are purchasing that loss-making business. If you are purchasing loss-making business, definitely you won't be happy to pay extra for loss-making business. So what will be deal here? It will be reverse. Like the net actual value of the business, of loss-making business is 1000 crore. Will you pay extra? No. What you will do? You will bid for less than 1000 crore. I mean to say, let's assume we have asked for 900 crore. The actual value is 1000 crore, but we asked for lesser than the actual value. And what you will see that the person or the owner of that loss-making company is happy to give even at 900 crore. So we are at a profit of 100 crore. If you are getting a business less than the actual net worth of the business, you are at a profit. Now if it is a profit, what our rule says? Our rule says profit is always credited. So this balancing figure, if you are getting credit side lower, then this balancing figure is your profit. And profit, we will put it in which account, students? We are going to put this profit in capital reserve account. Remember, you will put this profit in capital reserve account. So whenever you get a profit for purchasing a business, as per the accounting standard, we put it in capital reserve account. So I have put a star in both the account. Why put star? I have put star here because both won't come together in one entry in one sum. Either the question will have a PC value more, or the question will have PC value less. If PC value is more, you are paying more, it's a loss, will go in goodwill account. If PC value is less, you will get difference in the credit column and you will write it as capital reserve. So this is what the entry is for purchase of business. I labeled it as a purchase entry. Now what is the next entry, students? I labeled this entry as a settlement entry. This is your settlement entry. Now what we are doing here in second entry, we are settling our dues. The amount which is payable to vendor, we are paying him. Debit the receiver, so vendor is a receiver, debit the receiver, so vendor account is debited with what amount, students? Full amount, PC amount. And what we are doing here, we are giving entire PC amount in the form of shares. So you will credit equity share capital account, or if in our example, as I said, some part of your PC you are giving in shares, some other part you are giving in cash or by way of check, then write it as to cash bank account, cash or bank account, whatever may be the details given in the question. So these are the two things which you will give out to the vendor. So when we are giving these two things, cash and shares, to the vendor, vendor is a receiver, debit the receiver, and shares is going out credit, cash is going out credit. If you are giving by check, bank balance is reducing credit. Am I clear with this settlement ka entry? So this entry you will pass if you are giving shares at par. What will be your entry if you are giving at a premium? Then your entry will be this, students. Vendor account debit, this is same. Equity share capital account credit, this is also same. You have to use SPR account. Why SPR? What is SPR? Securities Premium Reserve. When to use SPR account? Whenever question says that we are giving shares to vendor at a premium, then SPR will be credited. So here you have to write a premium amount, and here you will have to write share capital amount. Also, it may be possible that they give in question some part of PC is given in cash or by check, then accordingly you write cash account or bank account. So this is how you will pass entry when we are settling vendor's account by giving shares at a premium. So I put star here. You also, while copying, I want you to put star at SPR account. So if it is at premium, then only you will write SPR account. Now students, the last important point is you will have to use formula to divide this amount, like which will be your capital amount and premium amount. For that calculation, you will use this formula. When to use this formula? Whenever we are giving shares at a premium. For par, not required. Why? Because there is no SPR account. At premium, we need to split the money, premium money and capital. To split that money, I must know the number of shares we are giving to vendor. How to find it? Whatever amount is payable, divide it with the issue price of shares. This is the formula. I want you to take this down in your book. Number of shares. How to find it? Amount payable to vendor divided by issue price of share. How to decide issue price of share? Issue price of share is face value plus premium. Also copy down this thing. How to decide issue price of a share? Issue price of a share is face value plus premium. So copy down both the formulas, and how to use this formula I am going to explain by taking one sum in my next video. By that time, I want you to just go through this master entries and try to understand it. Thank you, students.